and I just wanted to come and talk to you today about what it is that you are tolerating. And this question came up, and it was quite a powerful question because it kind of stops you in your tracks and makes you actually think about the fact that there are things going on in your life that you are tolerating. So it's not that things are happening to you, it's the fact that you are tolerating it. And in tolerating it, you're preventing yourself from moving to the next level in your life. Like, it's crazy. So if you're feeling like you can't move forward, like you've been trying everything, you've been doing everything, you're stressed, you're in a relationship that's not working, you're trying to lose weight, you're trying to advance in your career, if there's things that you feel that you're being blocked by, there is a good chance that it's because you are tolerating something that is preventing you from getting to the next step. And interestingly, I'll give you an example. So there was maybe a couple of years ago, and to be fair, this is something that I do quite regularly. I actually take a look and evaluate my life and the people that are in it. And I don't know about you, but you get to a certain age and you realise that you have these friendships that have lasted for, more than half your life. I've known people for, 25 or so years from when I was in school. And I've known people for 2 years who I'm very close with. And the interesting thing is that there is this belief that because we've known people for a long period of time, then we should just remain friends. And it's always been interesting to me because I've always known people for a long period of time, but we've just never really been close. And, is that my fault? Is that their fault? Is there something we could try? Sometimes you just don't connect with people on a certain level. But for whatever reason, we keep them around because we've known them for so long. But what value do they add to your life? How much time does it take for you to reach out to that person? Do they even reach out back? Are they concerned about what's going on in your life? Do they even care? And so what I realised is that I was tolerating having relationships or friendships with people that weren't doing anything, benefiting me, or utilising my time in any kind of positive way. And the problem with that was that once you know a thing, you can't unknow it. And so for me, it's like, well, I have this information, what am I going to do about it? And so I made the decision that I'm just going to let relationships fade. I don't owe anybody any explanations. I'm just not going to be reaching out. It's likely that I was probably the only one reaching out anyway. Holding on to this thing, tolerating this thing because I believed I needed it. Tolerating this thing because what did life look like without having to have these friends, to know these people, to, what does it look like on the other side? How is it that I'm going to make new friends? Am I going to be alone? I'm not saying that I'm cutting everybody off, but sometimes you can feel that way. We tolerate things, we get attached to things, and then we make excuses for those things so that we can keep them in our lives. But actually they're not serving us. They're not allowing us to progress to the next step. They're not allowing us to level up. They're not allowing us to be the person that we want to be because we're holding on to this thing that is essentially supposed to be behind us by now so that we could move forward. And so this is why I thought that this was a really interesting question, is what are you tolerating? Because actually I can't blame somebody else for not being a great friend. I'm tolerating them not being a great friend. I can't blame somebody because I'm overweight. I'm tolerating the fact that I'm not making an effort to lose weight. I can't blame the fact that in the job market there's no jobs. No, I'm tolerating the fact that I'm not putting in enough effort to get a job, or I'm making excuses about holding out for the right job. There's always something that we can do, and there's always, we always need to be moving forward. So it's really important that whatever you're doing, whenever you're feeling stuck, whenever you feel like there's some kind of blocker, you really just need to take a look at yourself and say, what am I tolerating? Is it negative thoughts? Is it stress? Is it stress from a specific person or a specific type of situation? What are you tolerating? Because at the end of the day, you set the rules, you set the boundaries, and everything that you do is a choice. Whether you believe it or not, it's a choice. And in not choosing, you're choosing. So what are you tolerating? And so the reason that I wanted to come and speak about this today is because I got asked this very question. And it took me a while to actually think of something to say. And I realised that I'm tolerating not being where I want to be in life because I'm starting again. I'm starting from scratch. I'm new. I'm still learning. I can give you 100 different reasons as to why. But I'm tolerating the fact that I'm not moving to the place that I want to be because I can do something about that. I have that choice to be able to do that. So tolerating, what are you tolerating? If you feel like you've got a blocker, if you feel like there's something going on, you're tolerating it. And what tends to happen is you're so scared of the result of no longer tolerating it that you would rather tolerate it. You're scared of the relationship breaking down and you having to be alone. You're scared of trying to start your own business and failing. You're scared of applying for jobs and not getting any responses. You're afraid of telling somebody how you feel about them because you're scared of being rejected. All of this tolerating is around fear, and our fear of not wanting to be uncomfortable, to avoid failure, to not push ourselves forward or put ourselves out there because we're scared of what happens next. But to be human is to change, is to grow. Like, that's the nature of us being alive, is to move and feel and, you know, have highs and have lows and grow from it and learn from it and do all of these wonderful things. But we can't do any of it if we just tolerate being where we are. So, you know, if you have a dream for yourself, if you have a desire, if you have a goal, you will never get there if you keep tolerating the things that are there holding you back. So again, I ask, what are you tolerating? Have a think about that. I mean, it's definitely a question that I don't think you can necessarily just answer at the top of your head, but it's something worth thinking about. What's going on in your life right now that you're tolerating? You can do something about it. You're just choosing not to. So if you're feeling stuck, then just make a list of all of the things that you're struggling with, all of the things that you're stressed about, all of the things that you want to change in your life. And then just pick one. As always, I like to do small changes. Pick one thing and then decide, how are you going to not tolerate that thing anymore? How are you going to move forward? For me, it was letting go of friendships. They didn't serve me. They didn't add any value. I felt that though in most cases they were one way. But releasing myself of those things gave me time back. I didn't have to think about them. And I was then able to use that same energy and that same time that I've now got back on other people who I had great relationships with, and use that to build that even more. And also meet new people and build relationships there as well. So whenever you think that you're losing something, there's always something to gain. Life is about balance. So don't feel like you need to tolerate something. If you really want to get to where you want to be, stop tolerating what you're tolerating and push yourself forward. So this was just a kind of random thought drop for you today. If you have any comments, just drop them in the box below. But yeah, this was definitely something that kind of made me really think about things And again, as I say, regardless of what area of your life that you want to change, your finances, your career, your weight, your health, your mindset, your relationships, whatever it is, think about what you're tolerating. Think about what you can stop tolerating in order to move to the next level. So I hope you found today useful. Drop me a note, #replay if you're watching this back, and let me know if you have any questions or comments, and I will be seeing you again very soon.